So this week we're going to be starting about the topic, the second, number 2 on the E list, which is one of my favorite, directions to where you actually have to deal with it because it makes or breaks what you're trying to do. And the word is, number 2, service. That's right. Service is one of those things that I live by because I was raised up in a business-type family, business-oriented, where people had, my mother and father had businesses, and they deal with businesses at the home a lot of times. And so at an early age, I was pretty well established in the etiquettes of business and to be able to understand the knowledge of how to do consumer relations and what the importance is on that. We also have, by definition, that service is the effort which is applied to a certain task that needs to be done. Now that task could be making a product or doing something for someone else, but that effort that you put into doing that task, that is directed to benefit someone else or yourself, because you can actually be a service to yourself or to others, and hopefully more on others than yourself, but you don't want to forget yourself, because a lot of people have a problem where they tend to help others, but they don't help themselves, and then they drown out themselves, and they're no good for anybody else. And then there's others who rather serve himself than have anyone be served from him. And really, I always felt that it is the strong that serves the weak, because, our parents service the children so that they can be provided for. And service is greatly needed to get us through. And if you live to serve, you find out that you're actually well provided for. You do that with service with your business, with your fellow co-workers, with your family, service to God, and service to yourself. Those things that has to be all in part of it. And no matter what you do, you're always doing a service. It just defines what type of service you do by what type of effort you put into it. You can be good service or you can be a bad service. You can neglect stuff, or you can detail and remember stuff. So businesses who don't apply good service, they generally you can identify those, and the turnaround is what kind of service you get out of it is what results you're going to get back. And a lot of times, if you give bad service, word of mouth advertising goes out there, and that negativity spreads out, and you're known for the bad service, and it's hard to get that back, But if you're known as a good service, there's always saying, if we build it, they shall come. Pretty much, that just means that if you were to provide a service for someone, you can pretty much say that it'll actually we receive a good service, and you'll get something back. Now, I always say that when you do serve something, don't serve to expect, even though, you would like to have something in return. But the fact is if it's a one-way service, you're never disappointed. Now, in trucking, which is what we do here, there's a lot of service that we have to provide. I mean, we're customer service. We are a representative of the trucking company. We're a representative of the products that we ship from the shipper. And everywhere else that you go out here, you're pretty much looked at on the image of what you show, and that's a service. When I go into shippers and receivers, and it just depends on what I bring in there. If I bring in an attitude or an impatient and very rude, it doesn't help. If I go in there being understanding, courteous, and receiving, then that really helps a long way. And I've had a lot of great experiences through my practice of good service that a lot of people complain about. Let's say we go into this one place and people have complained that they've always had trouble in that area or that business. And I go in and, treat them like human beings and respect and as customers, and I have no problem. In fact, they just kind of open the doors for me, A lot of times when I hear a lot of bad-mouthing about companies or how unfairly they treated someone or whatever, I have to look at different sides of the story. But primarily, when I really look deep into it, I look at the driver and I look at the dispatcher, I look at the company, and I can pretty much point to where the service wasn't there. Sometimes when we go to a shipper and we drive all night to deliver the goods to get it on time whenever, and there might be a receiving clerk that just has a bad attitude and treats you like they're doing a service just to take the load off your truck, which in fact they are, but they get real smug about it, and then you don't feel too welcome, and you don't feel like you really did anything other than you're not appreciated on it, and it ruins it, because then you get that feedback, that attitude to carry with you all day. And that's another thing, is if someone gives you good service, you feel good about it, and you have the tendency to share that service with someone else. Same thing with bad service. So this week we're going to be concentrating on service. We're going to be trying to do not only service to the company. I do service with my family, friends, even the people out here that that I just meet. It's always good. So this is a good week we're going to start. It's been a couple days since I've been recording, but it's just been a lot of weather and stuff. But we're going to have fun this week. So let's go.